Oh, hello, and welcome to this new video where we will discover all the news made in the Windows developer ecosystem in September 2023. Wait, does this mean the last video was already a month ago?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Anyway, but before we can start, I have a small info block with administrative news for this channel. But if you're not interested, you can skip to this timecode. I've joined Redcraft Studios, a group of YouTube channels. This brings me the advantage that I no longer have to cut my videos myself and like that maximize my output. This also means that the videos will first come on Redcraft Plus, the network's own streaming service, then on the Redcraft developers channels, and at last at my own personal channel. Links to all these things can be found in the description. But now, without further ado, let's start. The terminal team released stable version 1.18, which finally introduces the ability to drag out tabs and even put them in other terminal windows. Secondly, terminal now uses a new render engine that will finally fix the problems that certain ligature fonts caused. To activate it, you have to go into the settings, then choose a profile, scroll down, click advanced, and then click on use the new text renderer. A small but very neat new addition is that you can now right click on a profile in the profile switcher and it will give you the option to open this profile as an administrator. The team also released preview version 1.19, which has many amazing new features that we will definitely cover in the next video. The PowerToys team released version 1.74, which is mainly a stability release, but it also introduces Text Extractor 2.0, which gives you now the option to select the language you try to extract. As well, you can also now select tables and then paste it from the clipboard. For PowerToys Run, you can now select your default shell for the PowerToys Run shell plugin. The Visual Studio team released a second preview for version 17.8. This preview comes with a variety of small but nice features. For one, you can now preview your pull request summaries written in Visual Studio directly in the Markdown viewer by clicking this button. A second improvement for the GitHub extension is that you can now see the profile picture of the committers besides the commit in the Git overview page. And as always, new analyzers and autocomplete helpers were integrated into this release. Coming to the other Visual Studio Code, with the release of version 1.82, the command bar, this thing on the top, is now on by default. Also newly introduced is Sticky Scroll. Sticky is the header of the current block in your code onto the top. This is a feature other IDEs had for a long time, so it's pretty neat to see it finally arriving in Visual Studio Code. Also pretty neat is that you can now resize the search and replace dialog in your editor by grabbing one of the edges of the pane. If you liked the video so far, please leave a like. This would really help the channel to grow. Coming to DevHome, version 1.5 mostly consists of bug and accessibility fixes, but it introduces a new overview page of your DevHome extensions. Also, you can now view installation notes from Winget packages after you set up your machine. Speaking of DevHome, when setting up your Windows machine, you can now select in the UBI that you will use this Windows machine for development, and DevHome will be installed automatically. If you are using the new DeathDrives, you can now enable DeathDrive protection in Windows Defender, which will enable a special mode for these drives so that they won't be scanned in real time. This helps a lot with efficiency on DeathDrives. The first stable version of release 1.6 of Winget got released. It adds support for the winget configure command, which will allow you to execute so-called winget configuration files that help you setting up your development machine. So for example, this could activate developer mode on Windows. As the last big thing on this huge list, we have the Windows Subsystem for Linux version 2.0. It adds a bunch of new, but currently behind experimental flags hidden features. For example, you can activate auto memory reclaim, which will make the memory usage shrink. Or even better, you can activate sparse VHD, which will enable an automatic resizing of the virtual hard disk of your Linux distro. You can now use Windows window shortcuts on WSL GUI windows, such as Win and upper arrow or Win and down arrow. There is so much more in this release that I cannot cover all in this video, so I encourage you to check out the blog post linked in the description. And at last, the things that didn't really fit into other categories. The first release candidate for .NET 8 got released. If you're interested in the new features, check out the blog post, which is of course linked in the description. Save the date for .NET Conf. From November 14th to November 16th, there will be a bunch of online sessions about .NET 8 and the whole .NET ecosystem, so definitely check it out. The monthly WinUI community call will be replaced with a Windows Developer Community Call, which will be held quarterly. In this call, all kind of Windows developer applications will be discussed. I personally think that's very exciting, and I can't wait to see the first one of these calls. And the last thing, although a bit off topic maybe, you can now register for the Hacktoberfest 2023 and start contributing in the open source ecosystem. This is it. As always, if you have suggestions or if I have forgotten something, please leave a comment. And if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to not miss the next video. Bye!